Here we are in a gorgeous, gorgeous estate. This is Natasha Money, one of my best friends of all time, storyteller extraordinaire, and she's now putting together this thing. Let's see, what's it called? Oh yeah, Someday This is Going to Be Funny.
This will be funny.
It might be funny. Anyway, I just wanted to pick your brain.
Ooh, pick.
Pick. Yeah, but I didn't bring any toothpicks. And I was very curious. First of all, how did the idea of starting such a, what do we even call this? It's not a gig, it's a YouTube?
It's a project. I mean,
yeah.
It's a project.
What was the impetus?
What was my impetus?
That sounds too close to another word.
Okay. So, a few years ago, maybe 5 or 6 years ago, I started realizing, and this one, you can't tell has a sense of humor or not, but we both do this thing where we find the funny in everything. And so a few years ago, I was having a lot of stories that just did not seem funny at the time.
Is that a hair?
That's not funny. Can we agree that's not funny? So there were things that were happening. I hurt his feelings. Let's pause. Let's pause
to pass all the wounds.
It will pass. So yeah, there were these stories that were happening that just didn't seem, to be funny in the moment, but they were really funny for other people. Like when the toilet overflows and it starts dripping down into your living room. That's never going to be funny for your landlord. But things like that, like literally, I'm just going to say it, mining the shit of your life for comedic gold. And so I came up with this phrase. I'm not the first person who's used it. Someday this will be funny. And I started sending these little snippets of vignettes to friends, and I would say hashtag someday this will be funny. And then a few years ago, I started writing essays around this, and I even taught a class called Someday This Will Be Funny, which is a whole other story because I had a heckler in my class, and
I remember that.
Yeah, he's missed out on a few things. I don't live here in Port Townsend anymore, and so then I started getting up on stage. I'd been on stages for close to 30 years now, doing, reading, hiding behind a book, but I was telling stories in between my poems or whatever, and that's where I felt like I really connected with people. People would come up to me afterwards and tell me they felt like they were at a fireside chat, which felt like a huge compliment, and I knew I was gearing up to do stories from memory. And I saw The Moth years ago, and I thought, I'm going to do that someday. And I actually got to do that last week, which was really exciting.
Excellent.
But this channel actually started in a roundabout way because I was a little tentative to get back on social media, and I got locked out of my Facebook account. Y'all can see there are a bunch of Meta Can You Hear Me videos. Apparently I can't because I'm still locked out of my Facebook for about 2 years. So I started this sort of as a joke to try to get Facebook's attention to let me back into my social media. And then I realized I'd been working on these essays on the page of things that could be funny someday, and then I was bringing it to the stage, but I needed a centralized way to bring this to everybody, and that the meta videos are just a part of it, and my stories on the stage are going to be a part of it, and there's going to be videos of me on stage. But really the true project, which feels like my project of life, is how do you find the humor in most situations? And I want to do that not just with myself, but with my friends, my fellow storytellers, people who wouldn't normally feel comfortable getting up on stage. I want to get y'all here interacting with each other, because I think this is what we need to do, especially in tense times. We need to find the humor in small things.
Times are tense?
Past tense? What? There's tension. Here's going to be a little bit more because I'm going to do something toward on camera.
It happens to the... Is this one of the first videos you're doing in the whole series?
Wow, you know what it is? Because I did the Meta videos, and those are going to continue. And hi, Meta, can you hear me? I'm still wondering, Meta, can you hear me?
Definitely. This is being recorded twice or more, I bet.
No, I don't think so.
Are you sure?
That's the other thing. We do, we do raw takes. Like, yeah, we might make a recording and not use that one, but there's really little editing on these. And this is one of the first recordings. Yeah, this is one of the first.
Well, it's a whole lot of fun. It's a whole lot of, ow. So let's see. Oh, so do you have the next one? What's your next interview? Do you already know?
I don't know what my next.
Winging
Does
it.
anyone have any ideas?
Yeah.
I don't know what my next one is. Yeah, I don't know.
I'm glad you're courageous.
Is this courage? Is this what courage looks like? I don't
Yeah, not having a clue and going for it. Yeah, pretty much. That's good.